The urgent beeping of proximity alarms jolted Commander Maya Patel awake from her light sleep cycle aboard the exploration vessel Horizon. She'd been mapping the outer reaches of the Kepler-62 system for 3 months now, the lone human in this distant corner of space. "Status report," Maya commanded, sliding into the pilot's chair as holographic displays illuminated around her. "Unknown craft detected," the ship's AI responded. "Configuration matches no known human vessel. Energy signatures suggest critical systems failure." Maya's pulse quickened. After 15 years of deep space exploration, this could be it, genuine first contact. Not just signals or artifacts, but an actual alien vessel. "Establish communication protocols. All frequencies, standard greeting package," she ordered, adjusting the view screen to get a better look at the approaching craft. It was elegant, crystalline structures interwoven with what appeared to be living tissue, now clearly damaged from some catastrophic event. No response came to her hails. The alien vessel continued its slow, uncontrolled tumble through space, trailing luminescent particles in its wake. "I'm going EVA," Maya decided, already reaching for her suit. The opportunity was too important to miss, even if regulations suggested waiting for backup. The nearest human outpost was 8 weeks away at best speed. 20 minutes later, Maya guided her small shuttle alongside the damaged craft. Up close, the alien technology was even more remarkable. Portions seemed to pulsate with internal light, suggesting some biomechanical integration beyond human engineering capabilities. She found what appeared to be an entry port and, after several attempts, managed to create an airtight seal between her shuttle and the alien vessel. The atmospheric readings from inside were surprising, breathable, though with higher oxygen content than Earth standard. Maya entered cautiously, her suit's external lights illuminating a corridor of swirling geometric patterns that seemed to respond to her presence. The gravity was lighter than Earth's, allowing her to move with unexpected ease through the curved passages. In what she guessed was the command center, Maya discovered the ship's sole occupant. The alien was humanoid, yet distinctly different, tall and slender with iridescent skin that shifted colors even as she watched. It lay slumped over a control interface, clearly injured. To Maya's astonishment, a voice spoke directly in her mind. "You have come. Good. I had hoped someone would find us before the end." Maya froze. "You can communicate telepathically?" "Neural interface translation," the alien explained, gesturing weakly to the walls around them. "The ship facilitates understanding between species. I am Thrax, ambassador to the outer systems." "I'm Commander Maya Patel of Earth," she responded, moving closer and noticing the strange fluid seeping from the alien's torso, evidently a severe wound. "My mission ends here," Thrax said, "but perhaps yours begins. I was traveling to establish peaceful relations between our worlds when we were attacked by the Vorstak, a species that believes all advanced civilizations must be subjugated or destroyed." Maya knelt beside the dying ambassador. "Let me help you. My ship has medical supplies." "Too late for me," Thrax interrupted. "But not too late for our peoples. I carry critical diplomatic protocols that must reach the Council of Elders. Without them, your species may be seen as a threat rather than a potential ally against the Vorstak." With trembling fingers, Thrax removed a crystalline device from a compartment in the ship's console. "This contains everything: star charts, cultural guidelines, diplomatic credentials. My final mission now falls to you, Maya of Earth." As Maya accepted the device, Thrax's skin colors faded to a soft blue. "You must journey to my homeworld. The Council will be suspicious of an unknown species arriving unannounced. Tell them Thrax entrusted you with continuing the ambassador's legacy." Maya nodded solemnly, understanding the weight of this unexpected responsibility. "I will honor your request." Thrax's expression shifted in what Maya somehow recognized as gratitude. Then perhaps my journey's end will mark the beginning of something greater between our worlds. The journey to Thrax's homeworld took Maya 37 Earth days, following the complex navigational data stored in the crystalline device. As the horizon emerged from its final jump, a breathtaking sight filled the view screen, a planet suspended in space like an enormous opal, surrounded by orbital structures that resembled delicate lacework against the darkness. Approaching vessel, identify yourself, came a stern voice through the communications system. Maya took a deep breath before responding. This is Commander Maya Patel of Earth. I carry diplomatic credentials from Ambassador Thrax. A long silence followed, during which Maya's ship was scanned multiple times by increasingly precise instruments. Finally, the voice returned, noticeably more cautious. Ambassador Thrax departed on a solo mission. Where is the ambassador? Ambassador Thrax's vessel was attacked. I discovered it damaged and drifting, Maya explained, her voice steady despite her anxiety. The ambassador entrusted me with continuing the diplomatic mission before dying. I was asked to tell the Council of Elders that I carry the ambassador's legacy. Another prolonged silence followed before a different, older-sounding voice spoke. You will be permitted to land. Follow the beacon precisely. Any deviation will be considered hostile action. A small escort of iridescent ships materialized around the horizon, guiding Maya to a vast floating platform that served as a spaceport. As she exited her vessel, Maya was struck by the architecture, organic shapes that seemed to grow from one another, with no visible seams or joints. 5 tall figures awaited her, similar to Thrax but each with distinct patterns flowing across their skin. They wore no clothing but were adorned with intricate metallic ornaments that appeared to be both decorative and functional. I am Elder Nyx, announced the tallest of them, skin pulsing with deep purple patterns. You claim to carry Thrax's legacy. Prove this assertion. Maya presented the crystalline device. Ambassador Thrax gave me this before dying. I was told it contains diplomatic credentials and protocols. Elder Nyx took the device, placing it within a recess in what appeared to be a living console. Data streamed across its surface, and the assembled elders exchanged glances of surprise. It appears you speak truthfully, Elder Nyx conceded. However, this is unprecedented. No outsider has ever been entrusted with such responsibility. I understand your caution, Maya replied. I'm here to honor Thrax's final wish, to establish peaceful relations between our peoples. You will be tested, announced another elder, whose skin rippled with amber hues. I am Elder Kor. You will reside in our diplomatic quarter while we verify these credentials fully. In the meantime, you will learn our ways. Your ignorance could cause grave offense. Maya nodded. I welcome the opportunity to learn. The following days were intense. Maya was assigned a guide, Pella, a younger member of their species whose curiosity about humans matched Maya's about them. Maya learned their species called themselves the Luminar, evolved on a world with unpredictable radiation bursts that had led to their color-changing skin, originally a warning system that had evolved into their primary communication method. Your species speaks with sound and limited facial expressions, Pella observed, skin flickering with patterns that Maya was learning indicated curiosity. How do you convey complex emotional states? We rely more on words, but also body language, tone of voice, expressions, Maya explained. We've developed art forms, music, poetry, dance, to express what words alone cannot. Pella's skin rippled with new patterns. Fascinating. Perhaps you could demonstrate? Maya sang a simple earth lullaby, watching in wonder as Pella's skin mirrored the melody with synchronized color waves. On the 7th day, Maya was summoned before the full council, 12 elders seated in a living chamber that amplified their collective thoughts. The experience was overwhelming as their consciousness briefly touched hers. We have verified Thrax's final mission parameters, Elder Nyx announced. Ambassador Thrax was seeking allies against the Vorstak threat. We remained skeptical that humans could be suitable partners in this endeavor. Yet, added Elder Core, Thraxa's final choice suggests otherwise. We will proceed with diplomatic exchange, though many among us remain unconvinced of your species' readiness. Maya bowed respectfully, using the gesture Pella had taught her. I understand your concerns. I only ask for the opportunity to demonstrate humanity's potential as allies. As Maya left the chamber, Pella approached, skin flashing with urgent patterns. The council seldom reaches consensus so quickly. Something about you has intrigued them, human Maya. Is that good or bad? Maya asked. Pella's skin settled into a thoughtful blue pattern. That remains to be seen. The Vorstak threat grows, and the Council is divided on whether adding an untested species to our alliance network represents hope or folly. Maya gazed out at the alien cityscape, its biomechanical structures pulsing with life. Then I have much work to do to prove Thraxa's faith in humanity was justified. Maya's diplomatic quarters situated high within one of the living spires afforded her a panoramic view of the Luminar capital. The city was in perpetual motion, buildings that shifted and reconfigured throughout the day, aerial transports that moved like schools of fish through designated lanes, and the Luminar themselves, their skin a constant symphony of color as they communicated in ways Maya was only beginning to understand. You've been studying our historical archives extensively, Pella noted as she entered Maya's quarters. Her skin rippled with patterns that Maya now recognized as indicating mild surprise and approval. Maya nodded, gesturing toward the holographic displays showing Luminar history. I need to understand your people if I'm to build meaningful connections. The Vorstak threat seems to have shaped much of your recent history. 3 centuries of incursions, Pella confirmed, her skin darkening momentarily. They believe themselves evolutionarily superior, destined to rule or eliminate all other sentient life. Your arrival is timely. The Council has received reports of Vorstak scouts in neighboring systems. Which makes their skepticism of humans understandable, Maya observed. They can't afford allies who might falter. Over the following weeks, Maya gradually expanded her interactions beyond Pella and the diplomatic staff. She requested permission to visit the city's scientific institutes, agricultural centers, and cultural hubs. Initially accompanied by guards whose skin constantly flashed with alert patterns, Maya persistently demonstrated her genuine interest in Luminar achievements and challenges. At the Botanical Research Center, she observed Luminar scientists struggling with a failing crop vital for medical applications. Drawing on her knowledge of Earth botany, Maya suggested a modified growth medium that might address the issue. The interference patterns in your cellular structures remind me of certain extremophile plants on Earth, she explained to the skeptical lead researcher, whose name translated roughly as Valen. They thrived by developing symbiotic relationships with fungi that performed chemical conversions the plants couldn't manage alone. Valen's skin displayed patterns of dismissal. Our botanical science spans millennia. What could your species possibly contribute? A fresh perspective, Maya replied simply. Sometimes when you've worked with a problem too long, you miss solutions that might seem obvious to an outsider. Reluctantly, Valen permitted a small-scale test of Maya's suggestion. 3 days later, the modified crops showed significant improvement. Valen's skin displayed complex patterns that Maya couldn't fully interpret, but Pella later explained indicated professional reassessment and grudging respect. Word spread through the scientific community. Soon, Maya found herself invited to observe various projects, her outsider perspective increasingly valued. Each small success built credibility with the general population, though the Council maintained their cautious stance. The real breakthrough came during a public ceremony commemorating those lost in Vorstak attacks. Maya attended at Pella's suggestion, standing respectfully at the periphery of the gathering. As the ceremony concluded, a small Luminar child broke away from its caretaker and approached Maya curiously, skin flickering with innocent wonder at the strange visitor. Before the alarmed caretaker could intervene, Maya knelt to the child's level. Recalling what she'd learned about Luminar customs, she slowly extended her hand, palm upward in the traditional greeting gesture reserved for younglings. The child placed their smaller hand against hers, and Maya gently modulated her breathing to create a soft humming sound, an approximation of the comforting resonance Luminar adults produced for their young. The child's skin bloomed with delight, and throughout the gathering, the Luminar witnesses displayed patterns of surprise and reassessment. "That was unexpected," Pella commented later as they returned to the diplomatic quarter. "How did you know the proper greeting for younglings? It wasn't in your cultural briefings." "I observed families in the agricultural center," Maya explained. "I may not understand everything about your people yet, but some things transcend species, like protecting and nurturing the young." The following morning, Elder Nix requested Maya's presence. "Your actions yesterday have caused considerable discussion among the council," the elder stated, skin pattern serious but not hostile. "I hope I didn't cause offense," Maya replied. "Quite the opposite. You demonstrated cultural understanding and appropriate restraint. More significantly, you showed that humans share one of our most fundamental values, reverence for future generations." Elder Nix's skin rippled with formal patterns. "The council has voted to elevate your diplomatic status. You will now have greater access to our facilities and knowledge bases." As Maya left the council chamber, Pella was waiting, her skin displaying excited patterns. "This is unprecedented progress for an off-worlder," she exclaimed. "But challenges remain. Some military and security factions remain deeply suspicious of introducing humans into our alliance networks." Maya nodded thoughtfully. "Trust takes time to build. I expected nothing less." "There's more," Pella added, her skin shifting to serious tones. "Long-range sensors have detected unusual activity consistent with Vorstak scouting parties at the edge of this system. The Council fears they may have detected your presence and grown curious about our interaction with a new species." Maya gazed out at the city, suddenly feeling the weight of her responsibility. "Then we need to accelerate our diplomacy. Thrax believed our species could help each other against the Vorstak threat. It's time to prove that belief wasn't misplaced." I'll continue with Part 4 of The Ambassador's Legacy now. Part 4, The Challenge. 3 standard cycles after Maya's diplomatic elevation, sirens echoed throughout the Luminar capital. Maya was in consultation with the Agricultural Council when Pella burst in, her skin pulsing with urgent red-black patterns that needed no translation. "Vorstak vessels have entered the system," Pella announced. "Not merely scouts, a full diplomatic delegation has requested landing clearance." Murmurs rippled through the chamber as the Luminar's skin flashed with patterns of alarm and suspicion. Maya understood the implications immediately. In 3 centuries of intermittent conflict, the Vorstak had never sought formal diplomatic contact with the Luminar. "This timing is not coincidental," Elder Kor stated as the council convened in emergency session, with Maya in attendance. "They have detected the human presence and seek to assess this new development." Elder Nix's skin displayed grave concern. "The Vorstak operate by division and manipulation. They will attempt to drive a wedge between our peoples. We must decide how to proceed." "Deny them access," suggested a military advisor, skin flashing with decisive patterns. "We gain nothing from engagement. Rejection would only confirm their suspicions that this human alliance holds strategic importance," countered another elder. "They would return with battle fleets rather than diplomats." All eyes turned to Maya, their skin patterns questioning. "On Earth, we have a saying, keep your friends close and your enemies closer," Maya offered. "Perhaps there's value in allowing this meeting, controlled on your terms." After intense debate, the council reached consensus. The Vorstak delegation would be permitted to land but contained within a designated diplomatic zone. Maya would remain hidden initially, her presence a strategic card to be played only if necessary. The Vorstak proved as intimidating as Thrax had described, towering humanoids with exoskeletal features and eyes that seemed to calculate threat assessments with every glance. Their leader, who called himself Dominant Krezek, moved with predatory grace. "We have observed unusual activity in this system," Krezek stated without preamble during the initial meeting. "Our intelligence suggests the presence of a previously unknown species. This violates our established protocols. We maintain numerous scientific and cultural exchanges," Elder Nyx responded neutrally. "None that concern Vorstak interests." Krezek's expression hardened. "Deception is unwise. We detected a vessel of unknown configuration entering your orbital space 39 cycles ago. Our records indicate this technology does not match any known allied species." The tension escalated over the following days as the Vorstak pressed their investigation, demanding access to Luminar facilities and records. Maya monitored the proceedings remotely, growing increasingly concerned as the Vorstak delegation employed thinly veiled threats disguised as diplomatic overtures. On the fifth day, disaster struck. A Luminar security officer's skin betrayed recognition when Krezek mentioned the Earth vessel, a momentary flash of pattern that the Vorstak leader instantly detected. "So it is true," Krezek declared triumphantly. "You harbor a representative of an unregistered species. This constitutes a security breach under inter-system protocols that your council previously acknowledged." The council convened in emergency session, with Maya now included. "They demand your surrender to Vorstak custody for evaluation of potential threat level," Elder Nyx explained grimly. "Refusal, they claim, would constitute an act of aggression justifying immediate preventative measures." "This is a calculated test," Maya realized. "They're assessing both your resolve and humanity's potential as a threat or ally. What do you propose?" Elder Kor asked, skin patterns showing genuine respect for Maya's input, a significant evolution from their early interactions. Maya stood thoughtfully. "I believe I should meet with them directly." The elder's skin displayed shock. "They would likely take you captive immediately," Pella protested. "Not if we control the circumstances," Maya replied. "Let's invite them to a formal diplomatic session, full council present, all protocols observed. Make it clear that I'm here as an ambassador, not an infiltrator." After tense deliberation, the council agreed. The following day, Maya entered the grand chamber where the Vorstak delegation waited. She wore ceremonial Luminar adornments gifted by the council, a powerful symbol of her accepted status. Dominant Krezek's eyes narrowed as Maya approached. "So this is the human infiltrator." "Ambassador," Maya corrected calmly. "Commander Maya Patel of Earth, continuing the diplomatic mission entrusted to me by Ambassador Thrax before his death." "Thrax," Krezek repeated, his tone revealing unexpected recognition. "The Luminar's most accomplished diplomat. Interesting that his final act was to establish contact with your species." "Not merely contact," Maya clarified. "Alliance." Ambassador Thrax recognized complementary strengths between our peoples that could benefit both civilizations. Krezek circled Maya predatorily. "Humans are unknown to us. Unproven. Potentially dangerous due to this very unpredictability. Perhaps a demonstration would help alleviate your concerns," Maya suggested. She gestured toward a data terminal. "With the Council's permission, I would like to share information about Earth's approach to interspecies negotiation and conflict resolution." What followed was a carefully prepared presentation of human diplomatic history, including both successes and failures, deliberately highlighting humanity's capacity to learn from mistakes and evolve beyond violent tendencies. "We have faced our own destructive impulses and chosen a different path," Maya concluded. "Like the Luminar, we value preservation of life and mutual prosperity over dominance." Krezek remained impassive, but Maya detected subtle shifts in his posture. Interesting theories. Yet untested in the greater galactic community. Which is precisely why we seek alliance rather than isolation, Maya countered. We bring new perspectives, different technological approaches, and a genuine desire for peaceful coexistence. As the session concluded, Krezk addressed the council directly. We will withdraw our demand for the human surrender, for now. But be warned, we will be monitoring this experiment closely. Should it prove destabilizing to established order, we will intervene. After the Vorstak delegation departed, Elder Nix approached Maya, skin displaying patterns of cautious optimism. You faced them without fear, presented your case with clarity, and neither threatened nor capitulated. Most impressive. They'll be back, Maya noted soberly. Undoubtedly, Elder Kor agreed. But you have bought us valuable time and demonstrated that humans can indeed stand as worthy allies in the challenges ahead. 6 months after the Vorstak confrontation, Maya stood on the observation deck of the newly constructed Earth Embassy, a striking fusion of human and Luminar architectural styles that symbolized the growing partnership between their worlds. Below, the first official delegation from Earth was being welcomed with a traditional Luminar light ceremony, their skin displaying elaborate patterns of formal greeting that the human visitors watched in awe. They're adapting well, noted Elder Nix, who had joined Maya at the viewport. The Elder's skin now displayed the comfortable patterns reserved for trusted associates. Your species learns quickly. Maya smiled. As does yours. I never expected to see Luminar attempting human handshakes. The delegation included scientists, diplomats, and cultural experts, the first wave of what would become an ongoing exchange program. Following Maya's initial contact, both species had worked diligently to establish formal relations, with regular communication facilitated by quantum entanglement technology provided by the Luminar. The Defense Council meets tomorrow to review the joint security proposals, Elder Nix said, skin shifting to more serious patterns. The Vorstak have increased their patrol activity along the outer systems since your delegation's arrival. Maya nodded. They're testing our resolve, watching for weaknesses in our alliance. We expected nothing less. In the months since the confrontation, Maya had divided her time between welcoming the incoming Earth representatives and working with Luminar security forces to prepare for potential Vorstak aggression. What had begun as Thrax's dying wish had evolved into her life's work, building a bridge between civilizations that might ultimately ensure the survival of both. Admiral Chen reports that the first joint fleet exercises have exceeded expectations, Maya noted. The Luminar bioships and Earth's quantum weaponry complement each other in ways neither side anticipated. Elder Kor approached, joining their conversation. His skin, once perpetually suspicious around Maya, now displayed patterns of collegial respect. The Science Directorate has approved the exchange of terraforming technologies. Your methods for atmospheric manipulation could help us reclaim 3 worlds lost to solar instability. And your biological engineering expertise will revolutionize our approaches to environmental restoration, Maya replied. This is exactly what Thrax envisioned, each species addressing the other's blind spots, creating solutions neither could develop alone. Their conversation was interrupted by Pella, who now served as chief liaison to the Earth delegation. Her skin displayed urgent information patterns as she approached. Long-range sensors have detected 3 Vorstak battlecruisers on direct course for the Luminar homeworld. The peaceful moment shattered, replaced by focused intensity as Maya and the Elders moved quickly to the command center. There, a 3-dimensional tactical display showed the approaching Vorstak vessels, massive and heavily armed. They're testing our combined response capabilities, Admiral Chen assessed, her holographic image projected from the Earth vessel in orbit. This is too small a force for a genuine invasion attempt. But sufficient to assess our defensive coordination, added the Luminar fleet commander, skin pulsing with tactical patterns. They want to see how effectively our forces integrate. Maya exchanged glances with the Elders before addressing the combined command staff. Then let's show them exactly what they're up against, but carefully. This is a demonstration, not a battle. What followed was a precisely choreographed response. Earth vessels moved in perfect coordination with Luminar ships, establishing defensive positions that showcased their complementary capabilities without revealing their full strategic potential. When the Vorstak ships launched automated probe drones, these were intercepted with pinpoint precision by mixed squadrons of human and Luminar fighters. After 23 tense hours, the Vorstak vessels adjusted course and departed the system without direct engagement. A reconnaissance mission, Elder Corps observed as the command center staff celebrated the successful operation. They came to evaluate our capabilities. And what they saw should give them pause, Maya replied. Two species with different technologies, perspectives, and strategies, working as one coordinated force. Later that evening, as festivities marked both the successful defense operation and the official establishment of the Earth Embassy, Maya found a quiet moment alone on the balcony overlooking the capital city. The familiar ache of homesickness mingled with pride in what had been accomplished. "You seem contemplative," observed Pella, joining her on the balcony, her skin showing patterns of friendly concern. "I was thinking about Thrax," Maya admitted. "Wondering if this is what the ambassador envisioned when entrusting me with continuing the mission." "I believe Thrax would be most satisfied," came the voice of Elder Nyx, who had approached silently. The ambassador was known for seeing potential where others saw only risk. Maya gazed up at the night sky, where Earth's first diplomatic vessel orbited alongside Luminar ships. "When I found Thrax's damaged ship, I was simply an explorer mapping uncharted systems. I never imagined becoming the bridge between our worlds." "The best diplomats are often those who never sought the role," Elder Nyx replied, skin displaying philosophical patterns. "Your unexpected arrival forced both our peoples to move beyond comfortable assumptions and see new possibilities." As if to emphasize the point, the night sky suddenly illuminated with an extraordinary display as Luminar light crafters created a spectacular aerial show, a symbolic representation of Earth and the Luminar homeworld orbiting a common center, surrounded by protective rings of their combined fleets. "The Council has approved the formation of a permanent Joint Defense Command," Elder Corps announced, joining them on the balcony. "And more significantly, we have extended invitations to 3 other species who have suffered Vorstak aggression to join our alliance network." Maya smiled. From first contact to a multi-species alliance in less than a year. Ambassador Thrax would definitely approve. As the celebration continued around them, Maya reflected on the long journey from that fateful encounter with a dying alien to this moment of hopeful beginning. What had started as a diplomatic mission entrusted to her in desperation had evolved into something far greater, not just an alliance between 2 species, but the foundation for a new approach to galactic cooperation. The Vorstak would return, undoubtedly with greater forces and more sophisticated tactics. But they would face not isolated worlds ripe for conquest, but an evolving network of civilizations united by mutual respect and combined strength. In honoring Thrax's final wish, Maya had helped create something the ambassador had only dreamed possible, a future where diversity of species became an asset rather than a vulnerability. As the lights of celebration reflected in her eyes, Maya whispered a silent thank you to the alien who had changed not just her destiny, but potentially the course of interstellar relations for generations to come. The ambassador's legacy would endure, growing stronger with each new world that joined their peaceful alliance.